Ladies and gentlemen, today we're here to take a look at one of my favorite champions in the game, one who's in the top 5 best science champions in my opinion, and that is Antivenom. The first ever serious video I did on this channel was about him, so if you think about it, he kinda started my channel and kinda got me where I am. That's crazy, man. And the reason why I made that video was because I think I spent 20 US on offers or something. Bought myself two 6-star crystals, got him in Shang-Chi. We do not care. Like I said, one of the best science champions in the game with some utility that's insane and damage that's just a bit too much sometimes. But before we get too much into that, let's actually go over all of his abilities first, and then later on discuss why you should play him. He's immune to incinerate as well as poison effects, and during the opponent's special attacks, he gains 40% increased combat power rate per debuff on the opponent. His personal effects are paused during special attacks and for 5 seconds after the striker's activation, but moving on to his genetic memory, which is basically all of these. Whenever he starts the fight, he inflicts an indefinite Clintar debuff onto the opponent, and if this debuff is removed for any reason, it'll then be reapplied after 15 seconds. Whenever either champion lands 10 hits in the combo, he'll inflict a genetic memory debuff onto the opponent, maxing out at 4 stacks. The different kinds of genetic memory debuffs that he can inflict are 1. A Spectre debuff, which reduces the opponent's regeneration rate by 16.66%. 2. A Disorient that reduces defensive ability accuracy and block proficiency by 12.5%. And lastly, a Decelerate, which lowers evade and unstoppable ability accuracy by -33%. He can change which debuff he inflicts by doing a second medium attack, and as a defender, he has a 50% chance to change which one will actually be inflicted. His Clintar debuff reduces the amount of physical resistance that the opponent has, and while he's facing a #Spider-Verse opponent, their evade ability accuracy will be reduced by 100%. If it's a Mystic opponent instead, it reduces their unblockable ability accuracy by -65% flat, and if the opponent has at least 4 of Antivenom's personal debuffs, it'll actually be reduced by 100% instead. His heavy attack inflicts a stagger debuff lasting for 10 seconds and maxing out at 2 stacks. They also fixed it so that it now takes away the buff immediately instead of waiting for 5 seconds like before. Good for you, Kabam. Only took like 2 years. But moving on to his special attacks, the Special 1. It grants him an accelerated mutation passive, allowing him to inflict 2 of these debuffs instead of 1, and if he has the evolved mutation active, gaining this will actually refresh him. If he throws this while the accelerated mutation is active, all hits will deal a burst of additional physical damage, and the final hit inflicts a 40% petrified debuff lasting for 20 seconds, which reduces ability power rate and regeneration. As for the special attack where he looks like he's farting, the Special 2. He gains a massive Fury passive for 25 seconds for each genetic memory debuff on the opponent, and he consumes all of them except for the 2 most recent ones. Look at that damage. And last but not least, the Special 3. It inflicts a Rupture debuff, dealing a certain amount of physical damage over 15 seconds, which is one of the most random things I've ever seen. Why does he do this? And it also grants him an Evolved Mutation passive, increasing the max amount of genetic memory debuffs he can inflict on the opponent from 4 all the way until 8. It also increases the potency and duration of his personal furies by 25%, and this passive lasts for 25 seconds. But moving on to his awakened ability, if the opponent is suffering from a Clintar debuff and Antivenom gets struck, or gets hit in the block and the hit is not critical, he gains a regeneration passive, recovering a certain percentage of the damage that was actually dealt over 20 seconds. If the opponent cleanses or purifies the Grintar debuff, however, he loses all of these regens. Each time he inflicts a personal debuff, he also inflicts an exacerbate, which lasts indefinitely, increases the potency of his personal debuffs by a certain percentage, and maxes out at 10 stacks. But that is pretty much it for all of his abilities. It sounds pretty complicated the first time you hear it. What do they mean mutated passive? In exacerbate? What? But once you start playing him, it pretty much just starts to make sense. As for how to play him specifically, I would say he has 3 rotations. The first rotation is one where you don't actually need the utility and pretty much just want the damage. You start off by hitting the opponent up until you have 9 hits in the combo meter. You pretty much want to throw the special one as the 10th hit so that you can gain the accelerated mutation passive, allowing you to inflict 2 of your debuffs. From here, the goal is to build up to 2.9 bars of power, and once you get there, you should have inflicted all of your personal debuffs. All you do is hit the opponent for some big damage and they should be dead. Okay, I said 3 rotations, but this one can also be split up into 2. Instead of going for the special 2, you can also go for the special 3 if it's a long fight. You'll be able to inflict 8 of your debuffs onto the opponent. Due to the evolved mutation passive thing, which is basically this, build up to 1.9 bars of power, throw the special 1 to refresh your passive, and then build all the way up until 2.9 bars of power. Boom, just like that. For the second rotation, that's crazy, man. I literally forgot that he got buffed. There is no second or third. They buffed him to where you can keep 2 of your debuffs, so one thing to note when playing him, he'll actually start with the Spectre debuff selected. All you need to do is a second medium attack and you'll basically switch to the next one, which is the Disorient. And if you want the slow, then you do a second medium again. This timer shows you how many hits until you inflict the next genetic memory debuff, but that's pretty much how to play him. He is a champion that takes quite some time to get used to and one that you might not get right off the bat. But anyways, on to this man's attire, and as the #1 Antivenom Glazer, I gotta say, man, he looks so good, man. Whew. They cooked so hard that the drip doesn't even make sense, if that makes sense. So he's basically Venom, but the opposite, so he's anti? Venom is white here, he's black there. Venom is black here, and he's white there. So tell me why this dude is skinny. One looks fed, the other one looks... I don't think I can make that joke. I'm African myself, so... Even though Venom is the original, this dude just does it better. And it's kind of funny that all the symbiotes look better than him. Man, what is going on? The big white claws that make for one of the best outro animations. The feet? Alright, my bad. One subtle detail is the fact that his mouth is yellow and red. It's like there's fire inside. Does that mean he's a dragon? Or what is going on? Now the only negatives that this design has is one, the symbiote effect things. You can see what I'm talking about. Or they don't look like they fit. I'll give them props for trying. And then strike number 2, his tongue is clearly out in the profile picture, but when you take a look at the model itself, nowhere to be seen. But other than those, I think the design is sick. I think it's one of the reasons why I was drawn to this champion in the first place. So for the rating, I guess I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Realistically, it's a 8 because of the 2 points, but #1 Glazer, #1. But anyways, on to the topic of why you should play him. First and foremost, damage. Now, I do understand he does take quite a while to get those numbers, but once he does, I think you can call him the best champion in the game, man. They buffed him so that you'll always have 2 of his debuffs on the opponent, which means that you can spam your special tool like crazy and always gain your Fury passive. The fact that they made the Furies possible means that you're gonna be dealing more damage overall as well, He's definitely not the fastest champion in the game. He might be too slow for BGs if you ask me. Somewhere there in the middle, I guess you could call him average. But for anything outside of BGs, this dude is an absolute monster. Huge shout out to Allison Edits. She was able to get 1.2 million crit. And it's not like the damage goes away after that, you're still doing damage. Other than the damage, of course, his utility is also incredible. Okay, so if we go ahead and count, we have 1 Incinerate immunity, 2 Poison immunity, 3 Specters which reduce the opponent's healing, 4 Disorient that can even shut down nodes, 5 Decelerate, or no, 6 since it counters Evade and Unstoppable, 7 with the staggers. I mean, come on guys. The Twin Star only has one piece of utility. Then again, Antivenom is a science champion, so it makes sense as to why he has all of these. But when all of these things come together, the utility, the damage, the drip, it's kinda hard to believe he's not the best champion in the game. Okay, I might be glazing a bit too much. There isn't really anything that holds this champion back. I guess it's just an MCOC thing. If you have a champion that's great, it's basically just not enough, because in this game we have champions that are broken. Most champions that are great in this game pretty much just go underlooked, simply because we have too many broken champs now. Defenders that are crazy, attackers that can finish fights in like 30 seconds. The power balance isn't really that great. Even though he is a bit slow, I still believe he's one of the best champions in the game. One that can do so many things, he can take so many fights to the point where it's a bit unbelievable. If you've used him before, then you know how good he is. If you've used him and you don't think he's good, you're probably playing him wrong. But that's pretty much it for Antivenom. One of the best champions in the game, of course, always has a spot in my heart. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of him. Make sure to join my Discord group. The link will be down in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!